Lasalla and Zac Tucci for the opening face-off. It's won by Carolina.
Aiken's got a reputation as a guy who can sting you from distance.
So 5 goals for Connor now against North Carolina in the last 2 games. 7 of his 11 goals this season have come against Carolina. And now Virginia with the ride, forcing the turnover. It's the 6'7" Cole Kastner. He leaves it on the turf.
To go down the middle. The support wasn't there.
I think they gave him his left hand.
Second national titles as head coaches.
The quarterfinal round has such pressure associated with it. I felt Carolina was gripping their sticks a little tight. Even Joe Bresci admitted that.
Loved it.
For the Tewaaraton.
His dad is a retired police officer living on the North Shore of Suffolk County. I talked to him during the pandemic where he said he walked his dog Rosie. Took Rosie for long walks in the morning to stay sane. That was a year ago from right now. And on his mind.
But he had that short stick matchup. He used that quick change of direction and the high riser.
Yeah, the level change. The level change, Kark, is the difference there. These goalies can save bullets if they're straight bullets, but if you give them a level change, that's a low release to a high location, or vice versa. A high release to a low location. That's a difference maker for a shooter.
You had a goalie that you grew up with too.
Yeah, I shared a bedroom with one. The biggest lunatic I know, Brian Carcaterra, who followed Quint to Johns Hopkins. But I love Krieg's demeanor. You want a guy like that, where the moment doesn't feel too big, right? And that's why he's been able to capture this moment.
In front of the attackman as he comes upfield.
Schellenberger told us this week he's been helped so much by Matt Moore as Lasalla could not hold on to the ball. Here comes Alex Bresci, the nephew of head coach Joe Bresci.
Saw a next level through pass.
Take it, prove it to me that you can beat me left-handed. Now what do you do if you're Bowen? You got to play him straight up, right?
You have to. And Moore's a guy, obviously he has a left hand, but his sixth sense and his instincts just bring him back to his right hand so much. He's an athlete that can do that. But as you get
out of his shell off the field as well, tremendous maturation led by head coach Lars Tiffany. He can be goofy, he can be funny. He's opened up. He's now actually talking during practice. He'll return for a 5th year to Charlottesville.
You saw Matt Moore left shoulder. He's in the locker room. And you have that time, Quint, because of how fast of a pass that was from Schellenberger.
13 multi-goal games now for Cormier. Meanwhile, Virginia's now won 8 consecutive faceoffs. Here's Connors. 18 career goals, make it 19 for the midfielder of the year. Four unanswered by Virginia.
Lasalla wins the whistle and the initial clamp. It's a massive scrum. And there's Connors. He just beats his man to it. Look at him shield his stick. Pump fake keeps that point defender off of him. And then the accuracy through practice to nail a mid-range shot on the run. I mean, so many skills wrapped into one player. Amazing.
You know, you're asking, how is a long stick midfielder the National Midi of the Year? This is the first time 2021 since 2011 when Syracuse's Joel White was the last long stick midfielder to be midfielder from a national perspective, player of the year. That's why.
Dangerous in transition. A human Roomba on ground balls. And that game-changing long stick midi, a big part of Lars Tiffany's concoction. Go back to his team.
Let's do it.
Meanwhile, for North Carolina to get back into this game, it's got to start at the Faceoff X, where Virginia has won 9 in a row. Make it 10. And this is what UVA can do to you, Quint, with Petey Lasalla. The reigning national champions have taken control in this second quarter. And another face-off won by UNC. They've dominated the X after losing the first.
Was precise.
Now the face-off numbers skewed in favor of Virginia. North Carolina facing a halftime deficit for the first time this season. Paul, you talked to Joe Bresci. What'd he tell you?
Well, solving Petey Lasalla is the first priority in terms of getting the ball. He said offensively, though, they're panicking. 0 for 9 shooting in that second quarter. Defensively, expect Carolina to slide earlier. He said they have to support the matchups in terms of really creating some help for their defense and not allowing Virginia to score off the dodge. But Bresci knows when you're dealing with Lasalla, he is the type of player, when he gets on a run, we witness greatness from 23 in blue.
In the second meeting against Carolina, Lasalla won 15 of the final 16 faceoffs. And Virginia wins the opening draw, of course, for North Carolina. The #1 scoring offense in the country. And now Tucci, the faceoff win.
Swing shot.
The assist by Cook. Now Lasalla. He's a threat. Plays it to the wing. And this one.
Scott never played lacrosse. He was a golfer, went to Marshall. 200 balls a day since the kid was in grade school. And it has paid off. Righty, lefty. It's amazing. It's amazing how you don't have any clue what hand he is. And his father followed his son. Land in the crease. He avoided the goal mouth in the inside of the crease. Picked up a stick when he was 4 years old, his mom and dad told me. Ever since the game of lacrosse.
We highlighted Chris, a Carolina superstar, but this ensemble cast has been this team's biggest strength.
Himself and the shooter just a fraction of a second longer because the sticks aren't in the passing lane because of his head. His head is looking one way, his stick goes another.
Virginia's wings have been dynamite on the face-off unit. Now Lasalla spins inside, bounces.
And the heartbeat of this Virginia team.
A response by Virginia after Carolina had closed to within 2. Here is Tucci.
Success never comes before work.
Muscle memory. You know what's so interesting about his passing? Watch, every time he passes, gentlemen, he looks off the defense at the last second. Gives him the ability to free his hands, but his teammates then can find that seam, and the sticks of the opposing defense are not tracking it.
Touch and go! Touch and go!
Cormier was trapped near the
Hesitation. Alex Rode kind of loses his balance in the goal and comes off that near post. And for a lefty, you've got to keep your hip glued to that post. I think their goalie, Colin Krieg's going to have to step up and make a big-time stop. They put 60 minutes on the board for a reason, Anish. That's one thing we've learned in this tournament. It's every second counts.
all those AC games we saw this year, so many of them down to the wire, decided in overtime. Third meeting between Carolina and Virginia, and UNC comes away with
What's the matter? I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. You guys good? You guys good? All right, we're gonna go when you're ready. You guys ready? Here we go. Down. Sit.
another face-off won by Carolina.